Hello and welcome to this week's edition of the Mid-Vancouver Island Real Estate Update. I'm Debbie Simmonds with eXp Realty. This report is for the week of July 5th. We're already in July. Fantastic weather this week. Wonderful long weekend. Everybody unmasked. It was really a freeing kind of a weekend. Felt so good. This report covers the market areas of Crofton, Chemainus, Saltaire, and Ladysmith. I'm going to show you the activity this week. I will share my weekly hot sheet with you that shows all the activity. Okay, so as you can see here, we have 12 new listings. We have a $339,000 condo on Daniel Street in Chemainus. That's the lowest price of the new listings. We have a $3.6 million 57-acre parcel in the ALR as the highest price of those new 12 listings. We have only 3 new sales. So this trend that we've been talking about for a few weeks now continues quite sharply. Instead of a 1-to-1 ratio, when we had a really hot market, we're down to now to a 1-to-4 sales ratio. 1 in 4 listings are selling quickly. So that is a dramatic change. And of the new sales, the lowest price one was a $355,000 mobile home, and the highest price one was a 2-acre ocean view parcel with an 8-year-old rancher on it in Panorama Ridge in Chemainus for $1.1 million. So this is depicted in all of these hot sheets here. Please call me if you want to receive this hot sheet on a weekly basis. We'll email it to you, and you can discover all of these things in detail for yourself. Okay, so this is a slowing trend that we've been talking about and anticipating, and part of it's a seasonal trend, but a large part of it is buyer fatigue. The buyers went through a terrible time over the last 6 months. I felt sorry for every buyer I dealt with, having to compete with so many other buyers with so few listings. And even though our listing inventory is up a little bit, simply because the buyers aren't raging out there so quickly, some of them have been knocked back by the June 1st buying, regulatory changes on lending, but a lot of it is just simply buyer fatigue and waiting for prices to calm down. Some people have just been completely priced out of the market. We'll talk about why that's happening. Building material prices are somewhat calming down. Some are still continuing to escalate, and some are off a little bit on price. So that's good. But it is causing builders to finish the jobs they've started and not start any new ones. So that's going to present new challenges for us next year when even less new inventory comes on ground, simply because of the pricing. And a lot of that has to do with the new zoning regulations that adds $50,000 to the average price of a condo build, let's say in Vancouver. So that has a huge impact, especially on first-time buyers. Yet we see building materials moving around on our highways. There's never been so much commercial activity or commercial vehicles, but they're still waiting. There's still a huge backlog of waiting from the pandemic. For instance, 3-month wait to get windows. If you want to change your windows and you're not going to go downtown and buy them, you're going to wait 3 months at least. Appliances are amazing. Some of them are up to a year to wait, depending on what it is you're ordering. So back to the good news for the buyers. So buyers can shop around a little better now and not be so rushed, and it's not a foregone conclusion that they're going to be involved in a big multiple offer going hugely over ask with 9 or 10 buyers. So very good news for buyers. Let's go back to why our prices got so high. So the pandemic caused shortages and demand on the home renovation scene, which put a huge demand on building supplies. Local governments continue to choke our supplies, especially our municipal governments, but at other levels as well, where it is just almost impossible to get new inventory on the ground. A new thing that's come to light this week to me is that there are some huge companies out there now buying up single-family dwellings and renting them out. And this is a terrifying trend, because as a case study, let's look at BlackRock, which is a huge company in the US. It snapped up 15% of the single-family dwellings in the US in the first quarter of 2021. There are businesses now starting in Canada to do this, very, very large corporations. So this puts upward pressure on prices, and it blocks the average person like you and I out of the market. And a lot of Canadians and Americans are starting to feel like they will not have the Canadian/American dream of home ownership. So that is a trend that I hope the government's having a good look at, but I doubt it because they're not looking at themselves and the way that they're choking the supply. So we as a public need to pay a lot of attention to this and vote properly in municipal elections, hear what they have to say. Are they going to continue to choke our supply when we have 500,000 immigrants coming into the country every year? Another new statistic that came to light this year is that of all of the G7 countries, Canada has by far the lowest per capita housing unit dwelling per capita. And yet we continue to choke the supply, but bring in a lot of immigrants. Yes, we want our immigrants. We need them. There's jobs to be filled, but we need to house them too. And we need to house the people who are already here who can't get into the housing market. So it's going to be crisis, far more of a crisis than it is now before too long, if these aren't addressed. And also with the ALR blanketing our whole province when 50% of it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. It's not arable land. Okay, that's it for my report part. My featured Chemainus business of this week is the Silver Mine in Chemainus on Chemainus Road. Barb and Ian are fantastic entrepreneurs. They bring in beautiful jewelry. It's fun to go there because they're fun. Barb greets you with my sweets. And I always love being greeted that way. And it's always a great conversation when I go in there. And I have bought many beautiful gifts for my female friends and family members from the Silver Mine. They have a lovely 3D mine mural on the side of their building with a soundtrack to go with it. So that's a really neat thing to experience too while you're there. So I want to remind you of my giveaway Tuesday. So please go to my Facebook business page, Simmonds Lifestyles Group, Facebook business page, and enter our weekly draw for $50 gift certificate to a Chemainus business. Lots of people are really happy with their certificates. So hopefully you'll be one of them. And I encourage you to watch Michael Campbell Money Talks on Saturday morning on CKNW 980, because it fleshes out everything I tell you in these weekly reports in a very big way so that you can really grasp the concept of what's going on in our macroeconomic world. So thanks so much. Have a fantastic week ahead. Looks like we're going to have fantastic weather. So Debbie Simmonds, eXp Realty, please call me with all of your real estate needs, 250-246-0708. Professional, caring, kind.